wasn't without drama. The Dow Jones got what it wanted from the first trading week of 2021, a Democrat-controlled Senate and a string of record highs. It even held up well enough in the face of a woeful non-farm jobs report on Friday, the first negative reading since the dark days of last spring. In a way, this week might be more challenging for the Dow, precisely because it lacks those obstacles. A relatively clear deck when it comes to predictable macro news means it may be in the position of defending its record peak, rather than riding a wave of headline-led positive sentiment towards fresh highs. A period of quiet reflection could cause investors to cast their eyes over the latest COVID-19 headlines, which is the last thing the Dow and the rest of the US markets would want at the moment. At the same time, the Democrats are moving to try and impeach Donald Trump before Joe Biden's inauguration on January 20th. And while that won't have too much of an effect on actual governance, something Trump realistically hasn't been interested in since November anyway, it is indicative of an unstable and potentially violent few months in America, something that could shake investors' confidence in the Dow given its aforementioned highs. As for data, the JOLTS job opening number is out on Tuesday, while inflation is set to rise from 0.2% to 0.4% month on month on Wednesday. Thursday then sees the usual jobless claims reading, which is set to once again come in just below 800,000, joined by the latest import prices figure, which is looking to bounce back from 0.1% to 0.7%. Thursday also has an appearance from Fed Chair Jerome Powell at a Princeton webinar, an event that could be mined for hints as to the central bank's plans for 2021 now that the Democrats have taken the Senate, the House, and the Oval Office. Friday is then the big one, with PPI, Empire State Manufacturing Index, capacity rate utilization, industrial production, and consumer sentiment readings. The highlight, however, are the retail sales figures for December. Investors will be very keen not only to see how sizable Christmas spending was, but how it did in the light of the month's squeeze on employment, when 140,000 jobs were lost. Analysts are expecting the standard reading to jump from minus 1.1% to 0.0% month on month, with the core figure climbing from minus 0.9% to minus 0.1%. Again, not great, but I guess an improvement, enough at the very least that the Dow might not pay attention to those figures. Another factor to consider is earnings season, which starts to pick up in the latter half of the week. BlackRock and Delta Airlines report on Thursday, while Friday has a financial blitz with figures from JP Morgan, Citigroup, and Wells Fargo, the health of which could well dictate how the Dow and the rest of the US markets close up on Friday evening. It is a tricky period for the Dow Jones now. The buzz of the new year has gone, and the sort of the optimism that initially brought. It hasn't got something like the Senate races to really hang its hat on in terms of focus for the week. And things in the US, despite moving towards the Biden administration as soon as next week, are increasingly unstable and looking like it won't really be put back to sort of normal anytime soon. It still feels like America is a tinderbox at the moment, and sadly that there could be more violence in the months to come. How that will come to affect the Dow Jones is unclear. General instability isn't great, but the fact that Biden would now be in charge could act as a fairly significant counterweight to any fears over instability domestically.